10 Stoic Principles to Rebuild Your Life. Stoic Philosophy Narrator. Hello everyone, and welcome. Take a moment, right now, to think about where you are in your life. Are you standing on firm ground? Or do you feel like the foundations are shaking beneath you? Perhaps you've faced a significant setback, a job loss, a relationship ending, a health challenge, or simply a gnawing sense that things aren't quite right. Maybe you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or just adrift in a sea of uncertainty. We all reach these points, moments where it feels like the life we knew, or the life we envisioned, needs to be reassembled, piece by painful piece. It's a daunting task, isn't it? The sheer scale of it can be paralyzing. Where do you even begin when you feel like your world has been fractured? For centuries, across different cultures and continents, humanity has grappled with these fundamental questions of resilience, purpose, and how to navigate adversity. And surprisingly, or perhaps not so surprisingly, one ancient school of thought offers a remarkably potent and practical framework for not just coping, but for truly rebuilding your life from the ground up. Stoic philosophy. Now, when you hear Stoicism, you might picture stern, unfeeling philosophers, detached from the world. You might think of emotional suppression, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about understanding your emotions, mastering your reactions, and finding inner peace and strength regardless of external circumstances. It's about building an unshakable inner fortress. Today, we're going to explore 10 profound Stoic principles, not as abstract ideas, but as actionable tools. Tools you can pick up and use, starting right now, to mend what's broken, fortify your spirit, and construct a life of greater purpose, tranquility, and resilience. Whether you're facing a crisis or simply seeking to improve your daily experience, these principles offer a timeless roadmap for truly rebuilding your life. Let's begin. Principle 1. The dichotomy of control. Focus on what you can influence. Narrator. The very first and arguably most foundational Stoic principle is the dichotomy of control. This concept is deceptively simple, yet profoundly liberating once internalized. It states that some things are within our control, and some things are not. Think about it. Your job interview. You can control your preparation, your attitude, your punctuality, but you cannot control the interviewer's mood, the other candidate's qualifications, or the final hiring decision. Your health. You can control your diet, your exercise, your sleep. You cannot control a sudden illness or a genetic predisposition. Too often, we expend immense energy, anxiety, and frustration on things utterly beyond our influence. We worry about the economy, other people's opinions, past mistakes, future unknowns. This is precisely where much of our suffering originates. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from recognizing this boundary. Epictetus, a former slave who became a powerful Stoic teacher, famously said, "Some things are in our control and others are not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." To rebuild your life, the first step is to ruthlessly identify what falls into each category. Make a list, even mentally. What are you worrying about that you literally cannot change? Let it go. Reallocate that mental and emotional energy to what you can change. You can't control the fact that you lost your job, but you can control your job search strategy, your skills, development, and your mindset. You can't control a past regret, but you can control how you learn from it and move forward. This principle is about shifting your focus from external circumstances to internal responses. It's about understanding that while life will inevitably throw curveballs, your reaction to those curveballs is always your choice. This understanding is the bedrock upon which all other rebuilding efforts stand. Principle 2. Amor fati. Love your fate, narrator. This next principle is perhaps the most challenging for many, but also one of the most transformative, amor fati, which translates to love your fate. It doesn't mean passively accepting everything that happens to you with a shrug. It means actively embracing everything that happens to you, good or bad, as an essential part of your journey, and even as an opportunity for growth. Consider Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. He faced constant warfare, political intrigue, personal loss, and widespread plague during his reign. Yet, he wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This isn't about being happy about a misfortune, but about finding a way to integrate it, to see it as material for your personal development. If you've been laid off, amor fati, in saying, "Yay, I'm unemployed," it's saying, "This is happening. How can I use this situation to my advantage? What new skills can I learn? What new path can I explore? What strength can I forge from this?" Adversity, when rebuilding your life, you'll encounter resistance, setbacks, and moments of despair. Amor fati, the radical acceptance that allows you to stop fighting against reality and start working with it. It's about seeing obstacles not as roadblocks, but as exercises designed to make you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every challenge is a chance to practice virtue, to demonstrate courage, patience, and resolve. Embrace the present moment, whatever it holds. See the struggles you're facing not as unjust punishments, but as opportunities for growth. This radical acceptance liberates you from bitterness and resentment, freeing up energy that can be channeled directly into rebuilding. Principle 3. Premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity, narrator. Our third principle is premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This sounds a bit morbid, doesn't it? But it's actually a powerful tool for building resilience and reducing anxiety. It involves consciously imagining potential future difficulties or misfortunes. Why would you do this? Because our minds often magnify potential problems in the dark corners of our imagination. We catastrophize by intentionally thinking through worst-case scenarios. The Stoics found that they could lessen the shock if those events actually occurred, and often realize that the reality wouldn't be as bad as the imagined fear. Seneca, another prominent Stoic, advised, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." If you're rebuilding your life after a financial setback, for instance, you might mentally prepare for a period of frugality, for delayed gratification, or even for the discomfort of asking for help. If you're embarking on a new venture, you might contemplate the possibility of failure, rejection, or unforeseen challenges. This isn't about dwelling on negativity. It's about proactive mental preparedness. By rehearsing difficult scenarios in your mind, you can formulate plans, identify potential solutions, and emotionally inoculate yourself against the shock. When adversity strikes, you've already walked through it mentally. You're not surprised, you're not overwhelmed, and you're better equipped to respond rationally and effectively. Premeditatio malorum helps us realize how much we already have and fosters gratitude. It also highlights our inner strength, demonstrating that we can endure far more than we often give ourselves credit for. It's a powerful antidote to anxiety and a builder of robust mental fortitude, absolutely essential when you're in the process of rebuilding. Principle 4. Practicing voluntary discomfort. Memento mori's cousin, narrator, closely related to premeditatio malorum, is the practice of voluntary discomfort. This principle encourages us to periodically expose ourselves to minor hardships, to voluntarily step outside our comfort zones. It's a way of proving to ourselves that we can indeed cope without all the luxuries and conveniences we often take for granted. Think about taking a cold shower, skipping a meal, walking instead of driving, or temporarily giving up a modern convenience, like your phone or social media. Seneca, who was incredibly wealthy, would often wear simple clothes and eat plain food, even sleep on the floor, just to remind himself that he could live without his riches. Why do this when you're already struggling? To rebuild, because it builds resilience. It teaches you that your happiness isn't dependent on external comforts. It reduces your fear of loss. If you know you can be content with less, then the fear of losing what you have diminishes significantly. This is incredibly empowering when you're trying to re-establish stability. If you're rebuilding your finances, for example, practicing voluntary discomfort might mean consciously making do with less, identifying wants versus needs, and realizing that your well-being isn't tied to material possessions. If you're rebuilding your social life, it might mean initiating conversations with strangers, even when it feels awkward, to push past social anxiety. This practice is a constant reminder of our inner strength and adaptability. It strips away our reliance on externals and reveals the inherent robustness of the human spirit. It's a proactive way to prepare for the inevitable ups and downs of life, making you more adaptable and less fragile as you rebuild. Principle 5. Memento mori. Remember death. Narrator. Memento mori. Remember that you will die. Again, this might sound grim, but for the Stoics, it was a profoundly life-affirming principle. It's not about dwelling on death in a morbid way, but using the awareness of our mortality as a catalyst for living a more purposeful and virtuous life now. We often live as if we have an infinite amount of time. We postpone our dreams, delay apologies, put off difficult conversations, and waste precious moments on trivialities. The awareness of death, the finite nature of our existence, serves as a powerful reminder to prioritize what truly matters. If you're rebuilding your life, this principle is crucial. It forces you to ask, am I spending my time and energy on that genuinely contributes to the life I want to build? Am I living authentically? Am I making the most of the time I have, right now, to pursue my values and goals? Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself of his own mortality. He understood that every breath, every moment, was a gift to be utilized wisely. This perspective cuts through procrastination, trivial pursuits, and the endless pursuit of external validation. It compels you to action, to seize the day, not in a hedonistic way, but in a meaningful, intentional way. When you remember that your time is limited, the urgency to rebuild, to learn, to grow, to contribute becomes undeniable. It helps you shed the fear of failure, because the biggest failure is not living fully while you have the chance. Memento mori is the ultimate motivator to make every moment count in your journey of reconstruction. Principle 6. The virtue of justice, contributing to the whole. Narrator. Moving beyond purely individual practices, the Stoics emphasized the importance of virtue, and specifically, the virtue of justice. For the Stoics, justice wasn't just about legal fairness. It was about treating others fairly, contributing to the common good, and recognizing our interconnectedness as human beings. When you're rebuilding your life, it's easy to become self-absorbed, to focus solely on your own struggles. But the Stoics remind us that we are inherently social beings. Our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others. Living justly means acting with integrity, honesty, and kindness in all our interactions. This could mean fulfilling your responsibilities, even when they are difficult. It could mean offering help to someone else, even when you feel depleted. It could mean speaking up for what is right, even when it's uncomfortable. It could mean contributing your skills to a community, even if it feels small. Paradoxically, by focusing on contributing to the good of others, we often find our own sense of purpose and self-worth strengthened. Helping others can provide perspective on your own challenges and remind you of your capabilities. It also fosters positive relationships and builds a support network, which is invaluable when rebuilding. A life built solely on self-interest is often a hollow one. The Stoic path to rebuilding integrates you back into the human community, reminding you of your duty and your capacity to be a force for good. When you act justly, You not only improve the world around you, but you also solidify your own character and build a foundation of respect and integrity for your new life. Principle 7. Negative visualization. Appreciating what you have, narrator. This principle ties into the premeditation of adversity, but has a slightly different focus. Negative visualization. Instead of imagining future misfortunes, this practice involves consciously imagining the loss of things you currently possess and cherish. For instance, take a moment to imagine what your life would be like without your closest friends, your family, your health, your home, or even a simple comfort like clean water or electricity. This isn't about being ungrateful for what you do have, but about deeply appreciating it. We often take our blessings for granted until they are gone. Negative visualization allows us to experience that sense of loss mentally, fostering a profound sense of gratitude for the present. When you truly contemplate losing something, its value becomes immediately apparent. When you're rebuilding your life, you might feel a lack, a void. Negative visualization helps you shift your perspective from what you've lost or what you don't have to what you still possess. It reminds you of the quiet blessings that remain, the foundations that are still intact, and the simple things that bring comfort and joy. This practice can significantly reduce the sting of loss and enhance your appreciation for life's everyday gifts. It's a powerful tool for cultivating contentment and resilience, making you less susceptible to the emotional roller coaster of external circumstances and more grounded in present reality. Principle 8. The power of journaling, self-reflection, and progress, narrator. While not a named principle in the same way as the others, journaling was a fundamental practice for many Stoics, most notably Marcus Aurelius, whose Meditations is essentially his personal journal. The Stoics understood the immense power of self-reflection. Journaling, for a Stoic, isn't just about venting emotions. It's about a daily audit of your thoughts, actions, and reactions. It's about asking yourself tough questions. Did I act virtuously today? Did I succumb to irrational impulses? Where did I apply the dichotomy of control? What lesson did I learn? What could I have done better? When you're rebuilding, journaling becomes an invaluable tool for tracking your progress, identifying recurring patterns of thought or behavior, and solidifying new habits. It provides clarity amidst chaos. It allows you to examine your responses to setbacks, learn from them, and plan your next steps with greater intentionality. This practice forces you to confront your inner world, to challenge your assumptions, and to refine your understanding of yourself. It's like having a quiet conversation with your wisest self, guiding you through the often messy process of reconstruction. It transforms abstract Stoic principles into concrete, daily actions. Make it a habit, even for a few minutes each day. Before bed, review your day. In the morning, set your intentions. This consistent introspection will reveal incredible insights, accelerate your learning, and give you a tangible record of your journey back to strength. Principle 9. Indifference to externals, apathy, and misunderstood, narrator. This principle is often misunderstood, leading to the common misconception of Stoics, emotionless. It's the concept of apatheia, or indifference to externals. It does not mean apathy in the modern sense of not caring. Instead, it means freedom from being enslaved by our passions and desires concerning things outside our control. The Stoics recognize that attachment to external things, wealth, fame, pleasure, even other people's opinions, makes us vulnerable. When these externals are threatened or taken away, we suffer. True freedom comes from not needing these things for your happiness. This isn't about rejecting pleasure or avoiding relationships. It's about understanding that these things are preferred indifference, nice to have, but not essential for. Your inner peace, your happiness and well-being should derive from your own character, your virtues, and your internal state, not from the fleeting nature of external circumstances. When you're rebuilding your life, you're likely facing a situation where some externals have been lost. Embracing this principle means detaching your sense of self-worth from your job title, your bank account, or your relationship status. It means finding your value in your resilience, your wisdom, your courage, and your integrity, qualities that can never be taken away from you. By cultivating a healthy indifference to externals, you become less reactive to life's inevitable ups and downs. You build a deep well of inner calm that can sustain you through any storm, allowing you to rebuild with a clear mind and an unshakable spirit. Principle 10. Living according to nature. Finding your purpose. Narrator. Our final principle is living according to nature. This is perhaps the most encompassing Stoic ideal, and it means living in alignment with human reason, virtue, and our inherent capacity for rationality. For the Stoics, nature wasn't just the physical world, but the rational, ordered cosmos. Living according to nature means living in harmony with that universal reason. What does this mean for rebuilding your life? It means identifying your highest good, which for the Stoics was virtue itself, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. It means using your reason to navigate challenges, to make sound decisions, and to act in ways that are consistent with your deepest values. It also means recognizing your unique place in the world and fulfilling your potential. It means understanding that humans are social beings and that our flourishing is intertwined with the flourishing of our communities. It means aligning your actions with a larger purpose beyond just your immediate desires. When you are rebuilding, finding, or reaffirming, your purpose becomes paramount. What kind of person do you want to be? What legacy do you want to leave? How can you use your unique strengths to contribute to the world? Living according to nature guides you to make choices that lead to genuine fulfillment, not just fleeting satisfaction. It helps you build a life that is not only robust but also deeply meaningful. This principle provides the compass for your journey of reconstruction, ensuring that you're not just putting pieces back together randomly, but assembling a life that is coherent, virtuous, and truly aligned with your best self. Conclusion: the ongoing work of rebuilding. Narrator. So there you have them. 10 powerful Stoic principles to guide you in rebuilding your life. From understanding what you can control to embracing your fate. From preparing for adversity to appreciating what you have. And from acting virtuously to living purposefully. These aren't quick fixes, but profound shifts in perspective and practice. Rebuilding your life in a single event. It's an ongoing process. There will be good days and bad days. You will stumble. You will forget these principles sometimes. That's okay. The beauty of Stoicism is its practicality and its focus on continuous improvement. It's a philosophy for life, not just for a crisis. Remember that you possess an incredible inner strength. You are more resilient than you know. These principles are merely tools, waiting for you to pick them up and wield them. Start small. Pick one principle that resonates most with you right now and try to apply it daily for a week. Then add another. Consistency is key. The path to rebuilding may be challenging, but it is also an opportunity to forge a stronger, wiser, and more tranquil version of yourself. The Stoics didn't just endure hardship, they transformed it into fuel for growth. You can Thank you for joining me on this exploration of ancient wisdom from modern challenges. May these principles serve as your guide as you courageously and intentionally rebuild a life that is truly your own, a life of resilience, purpose, and inner peace. The work begins now.